On your marks, get set, go! Oh dear. Poor old Roy can't get going. Go on, Roy. Melvin second. First, David's in the lead at the moment. Kieran's just winding his machine up. Poor old Roy, I don't know what's happening. Come on, let's see you cheering.
I've actually got a rider to take my bike around today. That's up first in a few years, driven by Mr. Andy Murdoch and his daughter Lee. It's nice to see so many turned up to see the motorcycle. This lady laying down taking stones is going to go out to the middle of the field in a minute, and we're going to see how many can jump. So, don't take back those boxes, we're going to see it like that. UVA. Oh, if everyone's interested, I have to do a little plug now. I'm always on the top of mind, I'm going to do it, but yeah. I've been 2 years producing and writing an album, 14 tracks, called Breeze Paradise. If anyone's interested in purchasing one around 80 copies with me today, come and see me. And I tell you, no one would leave the field until they bought one. Oh yeah, I've got a Rottweiler on the gate. It's good.
Always does a lovely commentary, enjoys chatting up the boys on their motorcycles, and who wouldn't. Right, commercial vehicle owners and drivers, it's your big moment. Right, in just a few moments' time, ladies and gentlemen, the commercial vehicles will make their sedate progress towards the main arena, and they will be followed by what I expect will be an absolute splendid display of tractors at 1 o'clock. Sticking on the scene of tractors that you may be familiar with and recognise will be in the ring at 1 o'clock, but very importantly, noting our location here on the top of the hills. Don't be done for the last few years, no reason whatsoever to continue doing it. At 1:30 we're going to have an extra special display when we're going to bring a very fine selection of new Tipper tractors. Title. So Tipper tractors in the ring at 1:30. Well, interestingly, I can't see huge, great plumes of smoke arising from some of the very large camels we've got over there. So maybe if I could ask one of our field marshals to have a wander over to the commercial vehicle, and perhaps you could encourage the cranking of a few starting hammers, please. Iconic. This is dating from 1955. This is the Messerschmitt KR200, and the next word's important, ladies and gentlemen, is the cabriolet variant, and underneath the back of that is an absolutely tiny little 200cc engine.
And I'm sure that a period advertising man with the Messerschmitt Commission would be delighted to see that, because he would say it is a three-seater with the confidence of knowing that there are three occupants travelling in some measure of comfort in that car. I think the comfort is added to by the fact, Steve, that the roof is down. I won't make my usual jibe about aircraft cockpits, but the whole roof, low pressure before it lifts the lid, and that high pressure steam out of the boiler is used to push the pistons backwards and forwards that are located in the cylinder, which is the T3 roller. It's a little lightweight 8-tonner, nominal 8-tonner, compound, very fast, very manoeuvrable, much liked latterly by contractors because they would cover a lot of distance, a lot of road yardage with a small light roller like this, particularly doing tarring and chipping work, and they're not that common, the T3, and it's nice to see one.
Right, now something altogether different for you to look at, ladies and gentlemen. The vehicle going past right in front of the commentary box by now. It looks like a modern lorry, but it is of course a very old steam wagon. Built in 1930, this is the Sentinel SD4, the SD being very important in its description because SD stands for shaft drive, and we will cause you to look and study some of these engines closely.
Fires easily, steams well, and is an impressive machine to actually be behind the wheel of when you experience other things.
It's also worth pointing out to our audience now that the two Russells, the first one is a single cylinder and the second one is a compound cylinder engine that was actually part of an order from the Far East that got cancelled, which is probably a good thing because it's now here and it's on this rally field with us today. You've heard us use the term light steam tractor. Well, here is a truly splendid example of such a machine. Another one from the Pensum garage, I think I'll put it that way. This is an engine known as Patricia. It's what's called in the trade as a Garrett 4CD light steam tractor, and these were very popular amongst the hauliers in the period of 1910 up to the mid-1920s. These are getting many respects to the trade behind the difficult jobs we do with a tractor stand in this day and age.
Yes, Steve, they've got a slightly larger stamp of an engine than some of the other notionally 5-ton steam tractors. Garrett's got away with having a bit bigger and stronger an engine in that category than some other manufacturers, and they were popular, particularly in their native Suffolk, with thrashing tractors because they were nimble engine. They were capable of handling a medium thrashing box, and indeed not just handling one but doing what's called double work with a medium box, which involves driving both the thrashing box and the attached elevator or baler to process the core to the truck.
So for the light steam tractor, the one right in front of the concrete box now is the traction engine, single cylinder. Again, one of these ones when it comes by you, ladies and gentlemen, you can spot the motion work going backwards and forwards, nice and slowly, totally silent, poetry motion. Coming by the commentary box now, and as you can see, these engines come in a variety of sizes. We tend to talk imperial, so they're quarter scale, 3 inches to the foot, 1/3 scale, 4 inches to the foot, and then the largest ones are 6 inches to the foot, in other words, half size. So have a good look at them as they come around, and when they get back down the bottom of the field later on, you're very welcome to go down there with your youngsters with you, because they can stand alongside them, and rather than having to look up at them, they can actually look down, and all you clever dads can explain all the mechanical bits and pieces to your offspring.
And as these wonderful miniatures go around, Steve, I think we should reflect on the fact that our parade of full-size engines has shown us exceptional examples. And as the miniatures go around, we are looking at wonderful examples of the engineering ability to make steam equipment, steam engines that the miniatures display, because all these miniatures have been made by their original owners, individuals. There are firms that provide kits from castings that you can build engines up from, but every one of these miniatures would have had some substantial engineering input from the original owner in his shed, very often quite a modest garden shed, I suspect, with a small model maker's lathe, a pipelet or a boxwood or something, and a great deal of skill and ingenuity to recreate, in many cases, in exceptionally detailed authenticity, to replicate in smaller scale their full-size original tank.
It's probably also worth pointing out, Alan, because it may come as a bit of a surprise to the people around the audience, that these miniature engines, the boilers on them are subject to the same rules, regulations and inspection regime as their full-size counterparts. Most of these engines, due to the size of them, will have a steel boiler with steel tubes inside. Some of the much smaller engines, possibly when you get down to the quarter scale, 3 inches to the foot, may have a copper boiler, but the majority of these will have a steel boiler, and they have to undergo the mechanical inspection of the due periods, and also undergo a live steam test. And just to pick a nominal figure, most of these engines will be operating at a boiler pressure of around 100 pounds per square inch.
Indeed, Stephen, that is exactly how it should be. Our safety record in the preservation movement is exceptional, and as a movement we are striving all the time to maintain and improve the standard of boiler inspection and maintenance to ensure that that record remains unblemished. And it is as important for the miniatures to maintain and be up to that standard as for the full-size engine.
And just to give you an idea of the power of these miniature engines, we talked about, wouldn't mind you doing so. Over to you. Fairly feeble bit of whistle blowing, the reason for that being that very sensibly and understandably most engine owners are stood in the shade alongside their engine rather than being stood up on the footplate. The ropes are down, ladies and gentlemen, you may now come into the ring. Just heed my words earlier, most of the bits that are shiny on the engine tend to be... Ooh. If you could make your way back to your parking places. Apart from some of you, and I say this through gritted teeth and also the school mistress's whip in my hand, apart from those of you that are going to stay in the ring to enable the public to have a go at invitational steering.
So this is going to prove some of you will have more stars, I think, for you to get out before they're caught. This is Charles, looks to be in the lead.
Is this the Prestwood Grand Prix without any Mercedes power in sight? Right, ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments' time, if we manage to persuade a few engines to stay in the ring, I will let you know that we then have invitation steering underway. I expect you to ask nicely. Some driver might let you have a chance to put a hand on the engine's regulator, brackets, throttle. So we'll get that started in a few seconds' time. In the meantime, on behalf of myself and my colleague here, I'm Steve Dean, and I thank you for listening to us this afternoon, and we hope you found it educational, informative, and we hope you've managed to stay awake for after all of that, and we look forward to talking to the great British public a second day tomorrow, Alan.
Yes, indeed, Steve. I will echo those thoughts. I'm Alan Lloyd. I thoroughly enjoyed being here. I thoroughly enjoyed sitting in this greenhouse, watching the action and having the privilege, I should say, to talk about it on your behalf, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you for coming. Please come back tomorrow. There's still plenty more of this show to see. Don't miss up the chance to enjoy some lovely English summer weather in beautiful surroundings with a wonderful show to watch as a bonus. It's been great fun this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I will say cheerio as I head off in search of a cup of tea.
I think tomorrow, Alan, if the temperature is like it is, I'll bring my tomatoes with me.